Hi there, Alison here with another Cab Franc du jour. Today we are in Saumur and we're looking at Sylvain Dittiere's La Porte Saint Jean 2017 Les Pouches Saumur Rouge. The names Sylvain Dittière and La Porte Saint Jean may not be familiar to everyone, but if there is a name that you should remember that is part of that new generation of vignerons in Saumur, it is Sylvain Dittière. A Loire Valley native, Sylvain comes from a family that cultivates roses. And at the age of 16, Sylvain fell in love with the woman that would eventually become his partner, Pauline Foucault, daughter of Charlie and Françoise Foucault of Clos and Château Yvonne, respectively. Sylvain's winemaking journey began right around this time when he met Pauline. And in 1999, he began working at Château Yvonne in Saumur-Champigny, which at the time was under the direction of Françoise Foucault. In addition to his formal winemaking studies, as well as being intimately connected with Clos, Sylvain spent some time working alongside Antoine Foucault, Pauline's brother, at Domaine de Collier, as well as Thierry Germain of Domaine de Roches Neuves in Saumur-Champigny, Gérard Gauby in Roussillon, as well as Marc Tempé in Alsace. In 2010, at only 25 years of age, Sylvain established La Porte Saint Jean in the commune of Montreuil-Bellay in Saumur. Today, he's farming around 6 hectares worth of vines. 4 of these are Cabernet Franc, and then the other 2 hectares are devoted to Chenin Blanc and also Sauvignon Blanc. Now today we're looking at his cuvée Les Pouches, and this is coming from a single lieu-dit located in the commune of Montreuil-Bellay. And this is one of 2 Saumur Rouge that Sylvain makes, the other being Les Cormiers, which is coming from another lieu-dit located in the commune of Douai-en-Fontaine. Now, I have not done too many videos featuring wines from the Saumur AOP, so I'm going to give you a quick overview of this appellation. So the Saumur AOP, it encompasses 31 communes in 3 different departments in the Loire Valley. And it actually includes 5 distinct appellations. We have Saumur Rouge and Saumur Puy-Notre-Dame for the reds, Saumur Blanc for the whites, and Saumur Rosé, as well as Saumur Mousseux, which represents the sparkling wine appellation. And also, the Saumur AOP actually encompasses the 9 communes that make up the Saumur-Champigny AOP, but specifically here for white, rosé, as well as sparkling wines. Now, this Saumur AOP is a very large appellation, and there is a lot of diversity as it relates to the microclimates as well as the soils. So today, I only really want to focus on one point that relates specifically to the commune of Montreuil-Bellay. So this commune is located about 15 kilometers south of the village of Saumur, so 15 kilometers south of the Loire River. And what's important to note about this place, at least geologically speaking, is that this is where we find the Montreuil-Bellay fault. And this fault is quite long. It stretches about 150 kilometers to the northwest as well as to the southeast. And because of the tectonic activity that has taken place in this area over the course of hundreds of millions of years, this has actually exposed a completely different bedrock and soils in select communes in the Saumur AOP. So in 4 specific communes in Saumur, Douai-en-Fontaine, Brossay, Voldenay, and also Montreuil-Bellay, because of this fault here, we actually have this narrow band of Jurassic era limestones and soils. And just as with the Turonian tuffeau chalk that we find in the commune, or in the appellations, I should say, of Saumur-Champigny, Chinon, Bourgogne, and Saint-Nicolas-de-Bourgogne, there is a lot of diversity with these Jurassic era soils that we find in these 4 communes in Saumur. Now, specifically here in Montreuil-Bellay, the main vineyard area is flanked on both the west and the east side of the Douai River, and this river is actually a tributary of the Loire, and it starts up around the village of Saumur. And actually, the soils here in Montreuil-Bellay are really quite varied. Varied in terms of like from lieu-dit to lieu-dit, but also from parcel to parcel. We have everything here from ancient alluvium from the Thouet River. We have this Jurassic era limestone and marl. We also have other Jurassic era limestones with flint that is a little bit more common in the commune of Brossais, which is to the west. And then we even have here limestone sands and clays that actually date to the Cenomanian era here as well in this commune of Montreuil-Bellay. So getting back to this lieu-dit, Les Pouches. So this lieu-dit, we are in the heart of Montreuil-Bellay here, and we are on the east side of the Thouet River. And we're on a gentle west-northwest facing slope. At the bottom of the slope, we're at about 45 meters above sea level, and at the top of the slope, we're at around about 58 meters above sea level. And essentially here, we're very close to the Thouet River, and we're in this ancient riverbed area here. Now, Sylvain has around 2 hectares of Cabernet Franc vines here in Les Pouches. He also has a little bit of Chenin and Blanc planted here as well, and he acquired these parcels in 2017. Now, the Cabernet Franc vines, half are around 20 years of age, half are around 70 years of age. And then in terms of the soils here, the main influence that we're dealing with is this deep ancient alluvium from the Thouet River, and it's a silty I guess it's a clay sandy silt. So it's about 50% silt content with a smaller amounts of sand and clay being kind of the smallest proportion here. And this topsoil is quite deep, and it sits atop this bedrock that dates to the Jurassic era, and it's this yellow marl, which is kind of interesting. Now, the parcels here, they are farmed organically and have been farmed organically since the very beginning. And then from a winemaking perspective, Sylvain takes a very traditional approach with the winemaking. So we're talking hand-picked fruit here, and the fruit is meticulously sorted. So they do 3 sortings in total, once in the vineyard and then 2 subsequent sortings in the cellar. The fruit is destemmed, and fermentation takes place in both these large conical wooden vats as well as concrete tanks, and both of these tanks are closed. And then maceration is through infusion here. And what is essentially happening is Sylvain fills the tanks up right to the top with the Cabernet Franc berries, closes the lid, and then during the fermentation, the condensation that forms on the inside of the top of the tank, these droplets that come down, that actually helps to keep the cap wet during the active fermentation. The wine stays on skins for about 4 to 5 or so weeks, and then élevage takes place in 1 to 3 year old oak barrels. These are 225 and 228 liter older oak barrels, and the wine rests there for about 24 months in their cellars, which are actually these ancient limestone cellars that were dug out back in the 13th century, if you can believe it. So let's get into this wine. So the nose has a lot of lift to it. It's very exuberant on the nose. And for me, the fruits are coming through as a bit more of that red, sweet, tart fruit spectrum. The fruits do lean a little bit more savory. I'm getting like a little bit of like a wild strawberry note. There's a touch of like raspberry here as well, and a little bit of those like a cranberry or a lingonberry, like a tart red fruit note as well. And as I said, this wine does lean a little bit more savory or earthy. The pyrazines are really complex though. I'm getting some notes of like herbal undertones, like nettle, as well as a touch of like a cooling herb like rosemary. There's a touch of like a cedar thing going on here, and also like that foresty underbrush or wet autumn leaves going on the nose as well. And there's even a little bit of like a picholine olive note as well, which is kind of cool. All those same redder sweet tart fruits come through as they did on the nose. And then there's additional layers here. We get a little bit of graphite, like a whetstone thing happening. There's also some spice layers here too, like a touch of clove, allspice, maybe even a little bit of like a green peppercorn note as well. The acidity in this wine, it is so energetic, so alive, really vibrant, and the tannins are extremely delicate and fine, so finely woven. And they're not too intense, the tannins, they're about a medium level, so there is some structure here. They have a beautiful satiny texture in the mouth, which is really quite lovely. This is a medium body wine. It has concentration, there's layers here, but really what this wine is all about is about delicacy, finesse, and balance. And just there's this gracefulness about this wine, which is really quite distinctive. You know, as I said, there's concentration here, there are layers, but this wine is not intended to blow you over. It's really meant to be lean, subtle, with these delicate, intricate elements to it. It's almost ornate in a way. You can sense that there is this meticulousness about this wine, that there's a thoughtfulness about the wine and how it was produced. It is very contemplative, it's very serious, and I do think that it does have some serious aging potential, at least for, I would say, definitely the medium term for sure. Now, one thing that is important to think about, or something that maybe I have been thinking about for a while, is that, you know, with the passing of Charlie Foucault in 2015 and then the subsequent sale of Clos Rouge in 2017, you know, there's been quite a lot of chatter in the wine world with regards to, you know, who is the next Clos Rouge. And while there are quite a few contenders, you know, Charlie and Natty had some disciples in Saumur and Saumur Champigny, Sylvain Dittière is certainly one of those people to keep on your radar. And if you come across these wines, it is small production, of course, but if you do come across them, these are wines that you should be snapping up for sure, because I do think that Sylvain has the potential to kind of follow in that path with regards to the greatness that is Clos Rouge and what Charlie and Natty really created at that domaine. If you've had the opportunity to have one of the wines from Porte Saint Jean and Sylvain Dittière, do let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And of course, as always, I will be back again soon with another wine. Cheers.